Welcome back on RealCopStoriesVideos.com. Over 380 cop stories. Please look them up. They're my babies. And in addition to that, over 200 cop stories. So you got cops. Question and answers. You have 380 cop stories. Look them up. They're neat stuff. Foot pursuits, bodies exploding, dead ladies getting mouths open up, eaten by their little puppies when they're dead. I mean, really gross stuff. I have gross alerts. And in addition to that, I have over 200 questions and answers. So ask me a question. You can email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com and ask me a question. I'll put it on video, and I'll answer you directly. Question came up about I talked about I asked some or told some officers how to testify and how to improve their game, and the question came up about, well, are we training the academy for this? And I might have covered it briefly when I was giving the explanation of the academy, but there are small snippets while we're training the academy about court. And the reason why I say small is because I think they should do more, because court is very critical, but they just cover it. Like one of the examples we had was we'd go to different classes in there, and one of the classes would be like 9 of us in there, because they separate different things that they're doing at the same time. Guys will be shooting, guys will be doing this, so they separate this class of 35, and 8 will go over there, 7 will go over there, and then they move around as we go throughout the day. So we're sitting, this is why they do it. You're sitting in the classroom, 8 of you, and just talking about law, whatever. All of a sudden, one of the instructors walks in, yells at the instructor at the podium, "You cheat on my wife, you SOB!" Boom, boom, boom. It's a starter pistol. He turns around, fires a couple in the crowd, and then walks off and leaves. And the instructor gets up, we're all going, "Whoa!" It's really loud, your ears are ringing. He goes, "Okay, you just saw a commission of a homicide. Give me the direction of the suspect, what he was carrying, what clothes did he have, and all that, and what he said." Pretty cool. So we're all writing it down. Okay, so you write down everything he asked for. Okay, and he wrote on the board, "Here's the topics that you need to look at." Okay, so we're writing them all down. Collected them, and then we continue on with the class and what we were talking about. So a week later, we have a class on testimony. So now we're all in a classroom, and we're all separated, and they have a judge that's one of the instructors. They have a prosecutor that's one of the instructors, and they call you up on the stand. You sit down. On this date, which is 2 days ago, could you see a homicide commit in your presence? Yes. Can you give me the description of the suspect? And remember now, they collected all the things you wrote down, so you can't review anything. They have it, and so you give your testimony. Which way did he go? Which is kind of dumb because it's the only way to go. But anyway, just to see what you got, okay? And then so I think I found him missing I think he had a blue hat, and I think I might have said red. I don't know. I was like, whoa, because when the shots go off, you start looking around, what's going on? You're not sure if it's not real, but but it's funny, okay? So, you get up there, whoa, you went northbound, and what kind of her shoes? I don't know. Oh boy, I knew his shoes were white tennis shoes, but I got the shirt. I think I missed the pants and the hat. I mean, because I don't know what I'm doing. So anyway, so it's funny. And after you give yours, and you get to sit in the audience and watch the next one of your compatriots from the class come in and testify. That's pretty fun to watch, because you see you get all rattled and stuff, and then, where'd you grow up at? Were you in the service? They just do some stuff just to get you rattled. And after it's all over, then everybody comes into the classroom, and he'll say, "Okay, how everybody like that?" And they're all looking at each other. He goes, "Okay, this is just," he goes, "this is just this much of what you're going to get in court, of this much. They're going to come after you." And he gives a nice lecture, not a lot of practical stuff that you were asking about, but a lot of mental stuff, and get you a lot of verbal, saying, okay, they're going to try to get you this, they're going to try to do this, just to get you your mindset, even though once you leave the academy, and I'll tell you in a few minutes, you kind of forget all that stuff, because now you're really worried about, I'm with my partner, and I got to make sure the shotgun's loaded. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to hear, but court is not your primary concern once you get out of the academy, because it's not your primary concern once you get out of the academy. It's like other things are happening. Okay, so they're going to get you, they're going to disrupt you, and they tell you, and the bottom line is, they said, you're the guys that write the report when you make an arrest, and if that report is inaccurate, this is back to the English classes, if that report's inaccurate, you could lose the case. That's the bottom line. And DAs and CAs and even your victims, they don't want to lose the case, because that's why they called you. You're there to make an arrest, legal arrest, write to what you saw, write to what you did, and make the case. You should not be the one responsible for going sideways. He says, let the judges and juries do it, because they do a very good job of screwing these things up. Don't you be part of it. Really, they had a really, probably still do, attitude towards the courts and the judges, because they know that hopefully most of the officers are going to tell the truth and put down what they saw, and then the courts are going to screw it up. I mean, really. Okay, but anyway, so then it was at the same vein of this thing. That person asked me, how'd you feel when you first testifying? Well, my first testimony was I saw a guy hit his wife on a stoop, and I chased him. I was out of the academy about 2.5 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. Foot pursuit, a couple of some help from officers, caught him, went to trial, testified. I tell you right now, man, I got up there and first time, never been in a courtroom ever, never been anything, and I'm up there raising my right hand and, give my testimony. And a little bit of cross examination. How many feet were you away? See the guy's face. What part of the mouth did he hit? His allegedly hit. What happened after he hit the lady? Allegedly hit the lady while she fell. Those kind of things. Just kind of get to see if you got your act. And he knew I'm a rookie, obviously, because I'm what they call no stripes, and I'm with my train officer who has stripes and a hash mark, 5 years. They know who the rookie is, and they're trying to upset me, and the DA's trying to educate me. And so I give that and this and that. It wasn't bad, but like I was asked, I was scared because I never done this before. This is really new. I've been out there 2 weeks, and I'm giving this testimony. And then my partner did a good job. Okay, thank you. I thought he was lying to me, but it wasn't a bad job. This wasn't the greatest one. It was all right. And the jury came back if I'm not guilty. And I'm like, what? And then that was a real shock. The other stuff's fine. Testifying, okay, I'm scared. Okay, I get it. What? Even the judge was mad. The judge says, the jury comes back and goes, ladies and gentlemen, the jury, I cannot believe you thought I'm not guilty. He was pissed. Because the evidence is here. He says, the defense just sit back, he's fine because the case is done. The judge can reprimand all he wants, he can cry and everything else, but they already came out and said not guilty. And once the jurors decide, it's done. Especially not guilty. Guilty's, they'll appeal everything all over the place, but not guilty's, they're done with it. It's over. Double jeopardy, can't try them again, all that good stuff. Okay. So anyway, so everybody's gone, the DA's sitting there, and I'm just like, and he goes, officer, says, how long have you been in the field? I said, 2 weeks. He goes, you did pretty good. You need to work on this part and that part, but you did all right. And I go, can I ask a question? What? Not guilty? He goes, one thing you just got introduced to is the juries of Los Angeles. And boy, was he right. I think they just feel like I think they really feel, some of these jurors, not all of them, but some of them, that the police are the enemy, and we're always lying, and this poor guy's innocent, and that's it. And again, they're the ones that are victims of these guys. So if you want to let them out, let them out. I'm not going to be a victim. I've got a gun. You try to victimize me, that's the last thing you're going to do in your lifetime. I'll blow you away. So I'm not going to be, it's you guys, the jurors. You let these guys with tattoos and ex-cons and all this stuff, let them all loose. Guys, let them loose. It's your community. It's my community too. But I'm heavily armed, okay? And you're not. Okay, so anyway, so that was one of my first ones. And that's actually the question. They do teach a little bit in the academy, but not much. I think they should teach you more. I think you should do a whole week of it just to get things going. But you have a lot of things they got to teach you about. You don't have the time. And I was told that even in the academy, once you get out there, you're going to have to learn on the run. You're going to have to learn from your partners. You're going to have to learn when you go to court with your partner. He's going to testify probably because he's the train officer. They said, watch everything he does. Read the report anyway, just in case. Read the report because you want to see what he's testifying to. And just learn and learn and learn. And my train officer, whenever we went to court, we'd go early. I did this too when I became a train officer, and sit in court. Our case would be run like say at 11. We're there at 8:30. They say you can come back at 11 for your case. So we would sit in that courtroom, and he'd make me sit there and watch all these officers testify. He'd tell me, "I want you to learn all this. You need to learn. Watch these guys. Okay, read the report. Watch these guys." And so I watched them. I watched my partners testify. I'm doing it on the run, just like they said it's going to be. There's no classrooms in the real world. You hit the ground running. And so do this, watch it, watch, and then go up there, maybe do a case, and then 2 weeks, maybe 3 months later, do another one. And then, of course, the more arrests you make, the more testifying you're doing. Like one of the videos I said earlier, the guy had 4 years on and didn't know how to testify. Could have been he's in administrative jobs. It could have been he's not working something that makes arrests. Could have been he's working day shift. A lot of variables train an officer to ultimately go to court. And apparently he didn't have that much exposure. When I had 2.5 years on the job, I must have made already 60 arrests already. Maybe 10, 15 times in prelims, maybe a couple of trials. So I was very aggressive with all my partners, not just me, but the partners I was with, making a lot of arrests. And so obviously more arrests, more court time. And so you get really good at it, get very good at it. Okay, I took pride in what I could do in courts. So that's how we learned, that's how you learn. Some of the academy, mostly on job training. So I hope you enjoyed that. A little short on this one, but we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.